Driven deep into left field, way back. That ball is gone. We are tied up. Nick Castellanos has hit it out. It's 4-4.
Hi, my name's Craig Wallenbrock. I have a website, Wallenbrock Hitting. I've worked with a lot of pro hitters through the years, not so much as a coach as just making observations about hitting, which is why I think people like to work with me. I've worked with some of the bigger names in the game, and right now I've got two assistants, Robert Danskoyak and Dan Farnsworth, who are kind of helping me put together my observations on these hittings. We'll be putting on episodes from time to time showing various aspects of hitting and the observations we've made about some of the best hitters in the game. Traditionally, hitting's been taught by having some authority figure come up and say, here's how you load your hands, here's how you stride, here's what the bat path looks like. And what we'd like to do for you today is just make observations on some of the best hitters of the game and look at the commonalities that they have on various aspects of the game. The first episode that we're going to look at is just the bat path. How do guys enter to get into the proper hitting zone? And I think what we find is the best hitters in the game today enter nice and slow and early to get into a lag position as if they were going to hit the hardest fastball deeper than any other pitch. And when they get in that position, and as they come through and follow their path, they pick up speed and accelerate, and the greatest bat speed almost comes after contact. Let's take a look at Goldschmidt here and just analyze his swing. First we got it from the front. Now, as we watch him hit, go ahead Dan, frame by frame, we see the back elbow drop, and as it drops, it looks like the knob is behind the elbow and is following the elbow to the back side of the body. As he gets into that position, he gets into a lag position very deep, as if he could hit the ball back on the back side. Now he just continues that bat path going out, which allows him to come through and meet the pitch. This time he meets it pretty deep and just follows through and stays with the pitch as he accelerates and comes all the way through. You notice there's a gap between his two arms all the way. He doesn't roll the wrist over and flip the barrel at the ball. He extends through, so the gap between his two arms, we can see daylight or we can see distance between the two. Every hitter that we look at today, we're going to see this commonality. The next one we're going to show you is Edgar Martinez, and we're going to show you a different view of the same thing happening by looking at Edgar Martinez's swing from behind him. Right here, what you see with Edgar, as he gathers, we're going to see the same thing. We're going to see the elbow drop, but right now what you're going to see, you see how he kind of turns his hand like he's revving a motorcycle, top hand, which allows the elbow to drop, and then the hands drop in on top of that elbow, and he gets that lag position deep like Goldschmidt, and then continues just to follow through with that pitch. You'll see as Edgar comes in after that elbow drops and he gets that extension going through there, again he doesn't flip the barrel out and over. He lets the barrel follow the hands, so he keeps that gap between the two arms. And as he keeps that gap between the two arms, the barrel goes out and then comes back toward his body rather than rolling across his wrist, and he kept that gap alive the whole time. A lot of people talk about that entry, sort of like throwing or skipping a rock, and or completing a double play in an infielder. The next one we're going to show you is Barry Bonds. And as we break down Bonds' swing, what we see is he gathers, much like Edgar, he's going to bring his hands under that elbow, and then right here we have a separation in which the elbow drops independent, comes back to the other elbow. Both elbows do not go out at the same time. The front elbow stays there, and then the back elbow catches up with it, so he gets that lag position of the hands and the barrel behind the elbow as he reaches the backside of his body, as if he was hitting a fastball back there, and then continues out, and this time it is a fastball, and he hits it deep. He's hit that actually inside his front knee, and maintains that gap and that slow break of the wrist going all the way out through there. It looks like he gets so much extension that his back shoulder is going to almost dislocate in order to stay with the ball going out through and that shoulder coming underneath the chin. Go to another example. Okay, we're going to show you another angle of the same thing. This is Miguel Cabrera, and we're now standing behind the catcher. And as he comes in, we're going to see that same thing. We're going to see the elbow drop, catching up with the front elbow. We get into that lag position here, where it looks like the barrel is over the umpire's back shoulder, and it's not flat behind his body pointing toward the dugout, but more back toward the backstop. And now he can stay inside the ball and follow through with the hands, allowing the barrel to stay with it. And typical of a lot of modern hitters, he takes that inside fastball and actually drives it the other way for a home run to the opposite field. Here we go with Mike Trout, and the same thing. We're going to see that back elbow come down as the front elbow almost stays in position, and as he drops that back elbow, it looks like the knob's going to come down on top of his elbow, and he gets into lag position deep again if he's going to hit a fastball back there. In this particular case, what he's going to be doing is, it is a breaking ball, so he just continues his path and meets it out in front and actually pulls the breaking ball for a home run. A lot of the modern hitters today, we see them hitting the fastball the other way because they allow it to get deep. But on the off-speed pitch, or the further out from their body because of the lag position that they're in, they go get it, and they get it further out in front, but their bat path remains true. The gap between the two arms remains consistent, and we get a great follow-through and a great extension through the ball. As I mentioned, we're going to look at Joey Votto next. When we look at Joey Votto, we're going to see an example of what I think we see in a lot of modern hitters. We're going to see on the fastball how by getting into that zone early, by getting that arm into a right angle position, when they get, and by right angle we mean as the elbow drops down, we form a right angle from the elbow going out to the hand and up through the shoulder. We're going to see that in Joey Votto, and we're going to see him take a fastball and drive it the other way for a home run. And then we're going to see him take a breaking ball and pull it for a home run. You can see where this pitch is. It's an inside fastball. He catches it deep, hits it to the opposite field for a home run. When you look at that same shot from the side view, you're going to see how the elbow drops. As the elbow drops, the front elbow doesn't go out. It kind of waits for the back elbow to drop in behind it. Now he forms his right angle as his elbow reaches the back of his body. He's got that right angle going, and now he continues out through but catches the ball deep, and it allows him to be behind the ball and drive the fastball to the opposite field for a home run. On the very next shot, we're going to see a Votto. He now gets a curveball. He's going to be out in front on the curveball, but because he entered just like it was a fastball with the idea of catching the fastball deep, and now all he has to do is maintain his bat path and stay through the ball, and it's going to allow him to pull the breaking ball There's the elbow dropping without the other elbow almost standing still. Now the knob comes down on top. There is your right angle right there with the back arm. And now continue out through. You're going to be a little more out in front as it is a breaking ball. Catch that breaking ball out in front, and he pulls that for a home run going the other way. So what we did with lesson 1 today is just made the observations about the best hitters in the game, how they let the ball get deep, the fastball get deep, and they work more forward as the pitch is slower or off-speed pitch or out further from their body. So the rules to remember are we get into that hitting zone early by dropping in slow, then continuing that bat path and accelerating it as we read that pitch. Getting that right angle behind the body, getting that sidearm throwing or skipping a rock position, and then continuing through, maintaining that gap between your arms are the first observations we want you to make on bat path.